The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Hey, the vibes are slipping. I think it's time to bring out the Velveeta shells and cheese. The holidays are a time to go all in on indulgence. Headline your meals with the rich, creamy meltiness of Velveeta shells and cheese and satisfy your holiday cravings like no other. Bring that main course energy to your side dish. Celebrate extra with Velveeta these holidays.
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel. All right, I am feeling in a kingly state of mind with princely manners because today we are going to be talking about films that revolve around royalty. And here to join me, she'll be my queen, if you know what I mean. So let's do this podcast thing. My lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, my lord.
She
yes,
curtsied.
my king.
She curtsied. It's an audio podcast, but she curtsied. I'll take it. Okay, so Carrie, I'm going to ask you, because obviously we're talking about films that kind of center around royalty. So when you were looking for your Keep Watching Pass picks, like, were you looking for takes on real life royals? Were you looking at, strictly the UK? Were you looking at fictional? Like, what were you looking for?
Well, I know. I'm prepped for battle.
You're prepped for battle?
I've got my knight's armor. I am ready.
We're Knights of the Round Table.
Swords wielding in the air. I'm ready to do battle, actually, because I like to think that I thought outside of the box. I didn't take the assignment literally.
Okay. So as long as there's someone somewhere deserving of a crown with a kingly title, a queenly title. And yeah, I'm taking a look at my picks here and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I probably thought a little bit outside the box as well here. So it'll be interesting. I'm curious now. I'm really curious about what your picks are.
I know.
And by the way, dear listeners, we also want to hear what your picks are. So feel free to hit us up on social media at Not That Badcast or go to our website, notthatbadcast.com. Drop us a line. We love to hear from you guys. I want to know what your royalty films would be. Keep watch and pass. But let's get down to the court's business here. Carrie, what is your keep pick when it comes to royalty films?
Well, this is where I'm going way outside the box. I'm going way outside the realm of this earthly earth.
Oh?
I am. And I'm allowing the butterflies to lift me up to the heavens and down to the hell. I'm going, and I'm ready for this battle. I'm going with Little Nicky because every time I get a chance to talk about Little Nicky, I freaking love this movie. Now,
I get
Mom,
it. He's the Prince of Darkness. I get it. I understand. But
Mom
oh my
is
God.
an angel. Dad is the overseer, the king of hell. And Little Nicky goes to Earth to help right the wrongs and and he saves heaven and hell.
Oh,
and
my freaking God.
And yes, you are absolutely right that I have to give an honorable and true respect mention to the Prince of Darkness, who was also in this movie.
Good old Ozzy Osbourne.
Osbourne.
Oh, man.
Of course he had to be a part of this movie. In fact, it was so well written that, you know, the Blizzard said what he wanted to say outright. He didn't have to hide the messages and play the
Blizzard said what he had to say. Oh, dear God.
But Chicago, you play that backwards and you get your embedded messages.
Yeah, Peter Cetera was probably known to, influence a number of Chicago's listeners, but go on.
So this is where I was ready.
You did. You took the barest of possibilities to bring in Little Nicky, and thereby causing me to shake my head during your entire time of actually describing this, because you know how I feel about Little Nicky. You know.
Yes.
You freaking know.
I know.
I mean, it's not soul playing worthy here.
But
it's
I love
not.
this movie. You know I love this movie.
You know I can't stand this movie. Oh. It's okay. It's not my pass pick. It's not my pass. I would still pass on it, but it's not my pass.
Harsh.
You know, we don't always have to like the same movies, people. We can have disagreements. What's funny? And before I get to my key pick and all that, because really, this is a fascinating episode for us. Not just this episode, but this Keep Watch Pass, this idea, because over on There Can Only Be One, our music podcast, obviously we listen to music very differently. That's fine, right? But when it comes to movies, you and I are normally in agreement, but there are some where it's like,
To be fair, give a listen to some It's Not That Bad and some movies that I poo-poo on.
Oh, on Grading on a Curve, I think you'd purposely try to break the internet.
Grading on a Curve is fun because you can guarantee that my votes are going to spin the circle. And yeah, whichever movie I tend to like the most seems to be the most unpopular for some strange reason.
If you've ever seen that meme on the internet where like the 3 dragon heads and 2 of them are looking mean and the other one's like, duh.
Wow. Are you calling me a derpy dinosaur?
I'm saying your movie picks on Grading on a Curve or Derpy Dinosaur.
Wow.
Yeah.
Derpy Dragon.
All right, for my key pick, I'm going outside the box as well. I'm dealing with a movie that centers on the royal family of a fictitious country and one prince who decides to head out on his own with his friend in search of himself and in search of love when he comes to America. I'm talking about Eddie frickin' Murphy in Coming to America, the Prince of Zamunda.
2 princes who adore you.
Oh, now that song's stuck in everybody's
what I said
head,
now.
Right? But okay. I'm not even going to talk about Coming to America 2 because no. But here, right, you've got James Earl Jones as Eddie Murphy's father in this, the King of Zamunda. You've got Arsenio Hall in such a perfect role. The 2 of them together. Also, this is Sherry Headley's first big role. Now, Sherry was the woman who played Lisa McDowell, the love interest for Akeem, the Prince of Zamunda. She did have a smaller role in the movie The Pickup Artist, where she was listed as, quote unquote, girl painter with ladder. So clearly not the biggest role. But I mean, tell me this isn't one of Eddie Murphy's best comedies from the 80s.
Yes. I mean, you can't honestly see the movie poster.
Yeah.
And not think of
absolutely.
It is iconic.
The clearly the take on McDonald's and McDowell's, like that was hilarious. The Jerry Curl singer with the whole Rick James vibe going on. Sexual chocolate. Oh my God, I freaking love this film. Not to mention the guy who broke into the McDowells with the shotgun, Samuel L. Jackson. So yeah, I freaking love Coming to America. I will watch this no matter what. And he's a prince. It's royalty. It counts.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I mean, even the movie poster is iconic.
Yeah.
Right? That image of, yes, him dressed in his royal best.
Yeah. It's really weird though when you see like, you know, a movie like this in the 80s being so good. And then like eventually down the road, it's like, oh yeah. And he also did The Adventures of Pluto Nash. And no, just no. For my watch pick, I'm going to go with one that we have covered on It's Not That Bad. So yeah, we've defended it already, but we are going to figure out what is wrong in the state of Denmark. I'm talking about Ophelia with Daisy Ridley. Now, I'm going to put this out there, right? You know me. I'm a Star Wars guy, right? Love my Star Wars. I have said on this show and many other shows that I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Okay? This is my favorite Daisy Ridley performance. She killed it.
More than Rey.
More than Rey in Star Wars. I loved her in this film, right? And I'm sure you love the fact that Tom Felton's in this.
It was the red hair.
Okay, it worked for her. Yes, agreed. But still, tell me she wasn't fantastic in this. And this film wasn't one of the more pleasant surprises that we have had on this show.
Oh, it's true. I did really enjoy this.
Yeah. I mean,
movie.
When we, reviewed this film, we did it in front of a live studio audience as well. So that was absolutely fantastic. That was so much fun. But no, the film itself, like, I think I preferred Ophelia over any version of Hamlet that I've seen.
I think that's a fair statement. I mean, this movie it had almost a hipness like Romeo and Juliet, but yet still
it doesn't get close to the Baz Luhrmann. No,
but it stayed true to what you would expect, but it did have more of a modern feel, even though
a little bit. I mean, I love the soundtrack in this film too. The soundtrack is fantastic, but Naomi Watts, right? Naomi Watts, who plays Queen Gertrude and also plays Mathilde. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, and the roles are so different. Like, going into it, you watch it the first time and it's like, whoa. That's the same person? The what? Like, it was done so well. I think the weakest part of the film for me is Clive Owen. That's probably not a bad thing because of course the film centers around Daisy Ridley, but yeah. Anyone who wants to say poop about Rey from Star Wars, no. Watch Ophelia. She is pitch perfect for a period piece. And I haven't read the book that Ophelia is based on. So maybe that's why I like it more, right? Because I don't have the book to compare it to. And yeah, I read Hamlet, had to, high school, thank you. But the book Ophelia, obviously takes that different point of view. I love this idea. I do. There's actually another book out there that takes the book 1984 from George Orwell and reimagines it from the point of view of Julia. So I have 1984 in my bookshelf to be read. I'm going to be very curious to read the Julia 1984 afterwards. I love those different point of view kind of stories though. Like, let me ask you. Take a story that you love or a movie that you love, right? Figure out who the main central point of view is. And then retell that story from, like, if you had to take a story and retell it from someone else's point of view, which movie would you do?
There's a book series actually.
Oh?
Written by the perspective of Hermione Granger.
Yes.
So it's all of the adventures of the Golden Trio as told
from Hermione's point of view.
From Hermione's perspective, yeah.
I mean, I think I'd prefer that because let's be honest, Hermione's the more interesting character.
You would get a lot of like this perspective of just how incredibly in charge she was. I mean, they would have been dead by the first movie if it weren't for Hermione.
Oh, they would have been dead multiple times over if it wasn't for Hermione.
Fair. Yes.
Right? Can you also imagine too, like the inner monologue of her trying to deal with Weasley?
Yeah, exactly.
There are 17 chapters dedicated solely to the idea of what the Weasley.
Which, makes the first movie so heartbreaking that they were so mean to her.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Ron. Ron was so mean to her.
Freaking Weasley,
Basically saying she didn't have any friends. Well, guess what? She's going to be your love interest. So, yeah, it kind of followed that trope of like, if you like somebody, pick on them. Because Weasley was horrible to her. And yet, even somehow, they wound up together, even though I think she should have wound up with Harry. But I digress. It happened the way it happened.
Well, Harry ended up with his own freaking Weasley. So,
Well.
When I dropped the needle for the first time, wow, it was magic. The warmth, the texture, the way it pulled you into the music. If you want to feel that again, the Andover Spin Duo is where you start. It's not just a turntable. The Spin Duo comes with a Spin Bass 2 speaker, high fidelity, solid components, no flimsy plastic. It fills the room, and it's versatile enough to hook up to other devices via Bluetooth. And yeah, it even comes with a remote. Andover makes a whole family of gear. Spin Bass 2 Max if you want to step it up, or the Andover One if you're chasing true audiophile heaven. But here's the thing. For anyone getting into or back into vinyl, the Spin Duo is the easy, fun, no compromise way in. And right now, Pantheon listeners get 15% off at andoveraudio.com/Pantheon. That's andoveraudio.com/Pantheon. Drop the needle and join me back in the groove.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
No one should have to choose between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Purina is helping to create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters through the Purple Leash Project, so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
All right, Carrie, over to you. What's your watch pick?
Hakuna Matata.
Says what?
Is a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. I just can't wait to be king.
Okay.
Lion King.
I assume we're talking about the original animated one.
Exactly. Yes. That's how it should remain.
You know what's funny? When I was looking at movies, at royalty movies for my picks, I considered putting the remake of The Lion King.
The live action?
Yeah, as my past pick.
Oh.
Because let me ask you this, right? Like there have been a number of live action reimaginings of Disney animated classics, and it's really hard to find ones that work.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where they were going with it. I mean, especially it's the telling of the lion tribe and the royalty within, right? The king lion, the Lion King. I mean, that's very much a coveted role in, I don't know, the lion's pride. That's what it is. The lion's pride, right? So I can see like how it would be a good idea to tell the story, you know, using real life lions.
Yeah, but no.
It makes it more, you know what? Honestly, let's be honest. It would feel like watching the Nature Channel and a documentary on
Yeah, and I don't watch
lions.
those either. So why would I want to watch this?
Right?
But no, the original, you know what's funny too? So I remember when the trailer for The Lion King. I'm pretty sure it's The Lion King. I may be misremembering this or tying this in with a different animated film, but let me get this out there now because it's kind of on the tip of my tongue. So if I'm right, great. If I'm wrong, sorry, but I know this actually does exist on some movie trailer. So when the trailer came out and the voiceover was like this is like the early teasers of The Lion King, right? And the it's like the 30-second animated film from Disney Pictures. And I'm like, it's a 30-second film? That's a freaking commercial. Oh, 32. Oh, I get it now. Right?
30-second.
But that was my first introduction to The Lion King, was me baffled by the fact that it's a 30-second film. Like, what?
Oh, you're thinking like an editor.
I know I'm thinking like an editor, but I can't not think like an editor. Why? Because I'm a freaking editor.
You know what, though? The animated, I think, was so much lighter. You know, like, to have actual animals can be very scary for younger audiences.
Yeah, and The Lion King is not exactly the complete happy-go-lucky film,
The
right?
fight scenes are a bit intense, yeah. But animated, though, I mean, even that moment where Scar, like, hits the fiery ashes.
Yeah.
And it lands.
Oh, the animation in this is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And you know what? Just absolutely classic scenes, like where Simba's being raised up to be introduced to the lion pride and to all the animals in the kingdom. And, you know, the prince is born, right?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about like how this looks fantastic, right? And I recognize that Toy Story and Toy Story 2 exist, right? Pixar really revolutionized the way that animation was done with CGI. But there was something about Disney hand-drawn animated films, right? There really was.
You know what I love? And I know that watching like Steamboat Willie, old school, like the page turn animation where you see Mickey walking across, or Steamboat Willie walking across the page.
Yeah. That old school page flip style animation. Yeah.
That, I mean, that's what we grew up on. That's classic, right? You know, but on the other hand, there's a certain sharpness to movies of today and animated.
It can be done really, really well. You take a look at Transformers 1. I think Transformers 1 looks fantastic. But there's just something so, and maybe it's my age, maybe it's the gray hair seeping all the way through the microphone and into your ears. There's just something about the hand drawn. And I think that's why cartoons were so much better back then too. They leaned down to story more than they just did on like gags and whatnot. But still, regardless, there was something about like that era of Disney films that just, it sung. And the soundtrack too, of course, is iconic as well. Let's be honest.
Well, that's the thing. It is really, truly all about the music.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, so now we get to your pass pick. Even though I think your keep is pass worthy, what is your pass pick?
Oh, that is your opinion.
That is totally my opinion.
I respectfully disagree.
You'll be banished from the court later, but go on.
I am going to pass on, if I'm not mistaken, another Disney property. I am passing on the real life Princess Diaries.
Okay, I get that.
I just found that it followed every preconceived trope about, you know, this live action princess, I don't know, telling her tale, her side of things, penning her life story. You know, it's just like, and it was so predictable, you know, like.
Okay, but without the Princess Diaries, we don't get, you know, Oscar winner Anne Hathaway.
Oh no, I mean, she was fantastic in it. It's nothing against the actual movie. I just found that it was incredibly predictable.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's
hence nap time. It was nap time.
Typical aim for the tweens kind of comedy film that, I mean, yes, Anne Hathaway is fantastic in it and went on to do just amazing films. Like, you cannot deny Anne Hathaway's brilliance on screen and anything after that. But I mean, like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's just there.
Exactly. But I think for me, it was just more the predictability of it. It's kind of like, okay, you can pretty much chart how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And, it's predictable.
It's by the numbers. I get it.
Yes, exactly.
All right. I may shock you a little bit with my past pick because I'm actually going with a superhero movie.
Oh?
And I love my superhero films. You do. Because I'm a geek. I wear my geekdom on my sleeve. I wave my geek flag high. But when it comes to the King of Atlantis, the Aquaman.
Oh.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
I was intrigued there for a moment. I'm like, where are you going with this?
I'm going with the second Aquaman film. Now, I also recognize that this is when the DCEU gave up. It just gave up. It was done, right? It was DOA. And the funny thing is, you take a look at the first Aquaman film, and it sits at a 66% score at Rotten Tomatoes, which I actually think is low. I think the first Aquaman film is surprisingly good, and I didn't mind Jason Momoa as Aquaman, even though I knew who I wanted Jason Momoa to be in the DCEU, and he's finally going to get to play that role. Because in the upcoming Supergirl film starring Millie Alcock, Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo. Dream come true. Jason Momoa was born to play Lobo.
You manifested that. Like, I remember you talking about that years ago.
Oh, I mean, everyone was talking about this years ago.
You know what, though? Confession time.
Okay.
I don't like Jason Momoa. I'm sure he's a great guy, nice person, but I don't like him as an actor. I don't enjoy watching him at all.
Do tell me.
In any role.
Really?
Yeah.
There isn't a single Jason Momoa role that you like.
No. Couldn't stand him as Aquaman. Did not like him at all in there was My Sweet Girl or My Dear Girl.
The exact something
Sweet
like that.
Dear Girl.
Sweet Girl, something like that.
Sweet Girl.
Sweet Tooth.
I didn't like him. I didn't like him in Minecraft. I really enjoyed Jack Black and the movie itself, but I didn't like Jason. I don't like Jason Momoa as an actor on screen.
See,
I don't.
I didn't mind him as Conan the Barbarian.
No, didn't like that either.
Even though he's only in there for like parts of the first season of Game of Thrones, I actually liked him in that. He was perfect for that. But I mean, Jason Momoa's got to be a hard character to cast, right? Because he is such a larger than life personality, right? You can't tame down Jason Momoa. You can't, and nor should you, right? And I love the fact that, like, even at the last Black Sabbath concert ever, Jason Momoa was out there crowd surfing. Like,
okay, that I totally respect, and I have seen that he was, I guess he was like training with Pantera or a heavy metal band because he was going to do a rock documentary or something of the like.
Yeah,
that I respect, and I think that's maybe more in his wheelhouse. But that's the thing. As Aquaman, he was cast because of his big arms and like long hair, and he looked the role, but
no, he did not look the role though. He didn't.
Okay,
not in the slightest.
I just didn't enjoy his performance.
See, that's the thing. You take a look at the Lobo comic, and if you don't think Jason Momoa the minute you see that comic book, oh my God, right? And you will probably appreciate this because there were episodes of the Lobo comic series that were co-written by Scott Ian from Anthrax.
Oh?
So Lobo is a way more metal character than you could possibly think. And now he's going to be played by Jason Momoa. This is the role he should have been playing. But when it comes to Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, right? I said 66% for the first one, 33% for the second. And I think that's too high.
I think a lot of that is
Amber Heard.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is Amber Heard's fault.
No, but the thing is, and remember, when we talk about these movies and these roles, we don't talk about the people and how they are in real life because we don't know these people, right? And yes, some of them have been accused of doing horrible things in the past. And yes, I'm just taking Amber Heard's role as Mira in these films. And I didn't think she was bad in them, right? I can see why when an actor does something bad in real life, your instant reaction is to reject every film they've ever been in.
But it's not always necessarily a good thing.
No.
See, Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Right? He lost his standing in the Fantastic Beasts series because of the court case.
Right.
So, yeah, no, you're right. But I think there was a lot of tension, though. And maybe that was translated on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that didn't help.
The problem with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is that it's a CGI mess. It really is. And like they let Jason Momoa go full on King of the Broshen in this one. And the first one was a bit more pulled back, right? And you did have, a much stronger rounding cast, and while a lot of those people did come back for the second one, the second one just felt like they were trying to be too big and comic booky, right? And Aquaman's a hard character to think about in motion picture terms, right? Let's be honest, Aquaman's the character that was made the most fun of whenever it came to like the Super Friends or the Justice League or anything else, because like it's freaking Aquaman. He can swim and talk to fish. Yay! You're not saving the world, Aquaman.
Remind me again, did they not change or rewrite, the last scene, and I know it's series, but the last scene in Peacemaker, when they showed the DC and they showed Aquaman,
yes. So
but then
the last episode of the first season of Peacemaker, you had Aquaman, Flash, and implied to have Wonder Woman and Superman, but really it was only Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller there in person.
Right, but then, was he not removed?
Well, actually, the entire Justice League was removed. So in the second season, by the way, I'm sorry if you haven't watched Peacemaker yet, but they're doing this flashback, and rather than the Justice League be there at that scene when they reshot it, it was the Justice Gang, the one that appeared in the Superman film that was directed by James Gunn. So you had Hawkgirl, you had Green Lantern, you had Mr. Terrific, and you had still Superman. Like you had the current James Gunn verse of DC as opposed to the DCEU, the Snyderverse characters, which really, let's be honest, the DCEU did not have good main casting except for Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I liked Henry Cavill as Superman, but I don't think they had the right Superman stories.
I kind of like Lex Luthor.
What?
In the Superman movie?
Oh, you're talking about the new one.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Jesse Eisenberg and the DCEU, and I was just about to jump across here and shake you to make sure you're okay.
Okay, no, but is it not? It's not one and the same then? No.
This is Nicholas Hoult in the James Gunn Superman film, and yes, I completely agree.
Reinfeld.
He may, but still, he may actually be the best live action Lex Luthor that has ever been. better than Gene Hackman, better than Kevin Spacey, way freaking better than Jesse Eisenberg. Nicholas Hoult understood the assignment in Superman.
So good, yes.
So freaking good.
And the dog, too.
Oh, Crypto. Oh, God. See, that's why he has no boundaries. But no. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, it's unfortunate because, and same thing with Wonder Woman, too, right? They did so well on those first films. And then they did so poor on the second ones. But the DCEU had given up. And people had given up on the DCEU at that point, too. All right, Carrie. So concludes our time on our throne. So please remind our loyal subjects what your keep, watch, and pass picks are when it comes to movies about royalty.
I declare that I am keeping Little Nicky as still my king of...
And yet I keep her around.
Yeah, I so love that movie. Watching The Lion King because it's just good to be king, and passing on The Princess Diaries.
All right, I am keeping Coming to America. I am watching Ophelia. I am banning your Little Nicky from the court, and I am passing on Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Carrie, thank you so much for this. And to you, our dear listeners, well, you guys know the drill. If there's a topic out there that you want us to cover on Keep Watch Pass, or a movie that you want us to cover on It's Not That Bad, hit us up on social media at Not That Badcast, or go to our website at notthatbadcast.com. And while you're there, remember that at the end of the year, on Grading on a Curve, we are talking about the worst films of 2025. We and you are not ready. Until next time, she's Carrie, I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is Keep Watch Pass on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel and a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and LifeLock has tips to protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report phishing, and update the software on your devices. And for comprehensive identity protection, let LifeLock alert you to suspicious uses of your personal information. LifeLock also fixes identity theft, guaranteed or your money back. Stay smart, safe, and protected with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.